Carmel Margaret Cancorla, and I want to very much welcome Senator Eileen Flynn here today. And she said she came from a background of wheeling and dealing, and she certainly used those skills to great effect today when she went way beyond her time. And so learning from that and building on those skills for myself, maybe I'll have the same success. It's our first senator, first traveller ever elected to the Houses of the Oireachtas. That's significant. First time to address the Dáil, very significant. And her partner and child are here. And we're usually saying behind every good man is a very good woman, but clearly there's a very good man behind Senator Eileen Flynn and keeping her going and giving her the confidence and the determination to persist, because that's exactly what's needed. We have a report here, and I want to welcome the distinguished visitors in the gallery. You're all very welcome, and it's great to see it after COVID. It's great to see it for many reasons. In relation to the report itself and its recommendations, 84 in all, in 4 areas. And let me first say that the committee pays tribute, and it's important to say, they were struck by the resilience of the traveller community in the face of decades of deprivation, poverty and discrimination, and other things besides. And then they look at the recommendations and they give us the statistics. And then to put that in context, and some of it has been done by Deputy Tobin, 1963, we had a commission on itinerancy. And all of the facts were the same. Nothing has changed except the language, because that commission on itinerancy identified itinerants, as they were called, as the problem. And they actually appealed to charity and religious organisations to deal with it and to remove the problem, remove the cases of hostility and antipathy by strict enforcement of the law in order to restore public confidence. And then they wanted to invoke the influence of local clergy, local religion, charitable and welfare organisations by way of dealing with the problem that was out there. And we continue to other the problem. And when we do that, we do it at a great cost to our democracy, when we other differences rather than cherishing them. And that's what we've been asked here in 3 languages. We've been asked in the language English, Irish and Cant to diffrachti ahanch le lin kahavlin kokotum is a kotum le feina wanatha, when recognizing differences while being treated equally. All we want is fairness. And so if we look from 63 to now, which is almost 60 years next year, we're still faced with the same range of problems. So we seriously have to ask ourselves as public representatives what is going on. And when we deplore what's happening in local authority, then most of us were at local authority. And I want to echo what Deputy Smith has said. I spent 5 years of my life on a traveller accommodation committee. I have to say it was the worst experience of my life. I didn't go back on it. I did my best during those 5 years. It was extremely difficult to cope with the duplicity of language, the failure to act, and traveller representatives on it who weren't free to speak because they were utterly dependent on the local authority. I'd never go back onto that position. We have utterly failed to comply with our legal obligations. And when we talk about sanctions, we have done all this already. All of the city managers and county managers have powers to act. We shouldn't be in a position where accommodation is not being rolled out. I'm not sure how long or more I can wheedle more time, but as long as I can, I will in relation to it. The 4 areas of health, education, housing and economy. There were contributions from Galway, from the Galway Traveller Movement, and from Bounce Back Recycling. And what again is apparent is there are solutions to all of this in a positive way. Let's stop dealing with something as a problem. Let's cherish the differences and go forward. And the main, all of the recommendations I agree with, but one that really sticks out besides the accommodation is the one in relation to mainstreaming this in our educational system. That could be done very easily, Minister. So I would suggest, again, to echo the words of my colleague here, I wish we were here, that we were celebrating the implementation of that. I have exhausted your patience, Carmel Margaret.